shot. Now, the pin is in the C position on this hole, and his disc just probably hit the lock of B.
There you go.
That's a pretty decent shot. Tony's going to do the same thing, rip it about as hard as he can up that hill on the wide side.
A little narrow, and he hit a high branch there, so that knocked him right down.
Now let's see if Joey can throw this Anheuser shot.
Seems like the wind's picking up a little bit too, Todd, on the course.
That's rare that you get wind at Tyler, but it does happen. There he goes. Nice Anheuser shot, but catches a tree. And well, it's just about where Tony landed.
I was going to say, almost the same branch that Tony hit, it looked like to me.
Now, Tony is going to be throwing into an increasingly narrowing fairway. Gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and more trees. He manages to scoot through it and skip up to the basket a little bit.
Well, you know, that's a great technique. That's a great teaching point right there, because if you keep the disc low, it tends to stay away from the trees a little bit more than throwing it high. So that might have been on purpose there. See what Joey does here, the course pro.
That middle.
He's trying to pick the lane he wants to approach here. And is he going with the rock on this throw? It looks like he might have the rock in his hand.
He gets a nice turn and just crosses across the... Oh, and a great skip.
We got a good kick.
Sometimes Mother Nature helps you out. Sometimes she knocks you down. And Nathan, wow, what a great lie from their first shot. What an incredible throw.
He's putting. He didn't get behind it enough, though, because you can see it faded at the end. So that's going to be down behind the basket, down the hill a little bit. Steve has a choice to make here, because that's no easy putt coming back up the hill.
Yeah, he's going to have to bend it Anheuser a little bit.
I think Steve might go for it, though. See,
catches that tree right in front.
Catch a tree.
Well, that parking lot is out of bounds, so you definitely don't want to go near it.
Exactly.
And not that far away.
You can see the basket's pretty well protected.
Mm-hmm. Oh, jumps through the chains again.
You know, that's something that when you get these young players, they really throttle it up a little bit. And I think with their experience, you know, they might learn a little more finesse on these close putts.
That's true. But they managed to pull it off anyway. No, the bird beaters had pretty much a gimme here.
All right, everybody mopping it up
as they walk off onto the next hole. And there's our leaderboard. Super Bros ahead by 1 over the bird beaters. And we're going to take a quick break here, and we'll be right back. Don't go away.
Planning a home renovation? Put this at the top of your to-do list. Because after 10 years, none of you are protected against tetanus and another potentially fatal disease, diphtheria. A minor injury, such as a cut or a scrape, can put you at risk for a tetanus infection. And while safety gear offers some protection, an up-to-date vaccination called the TD booster is the best insurance against tetanus. So get the TD booster. If it's been 10, do it again.
Hi, I'm Mike Moser, and you're watching Disc Golf Monthly, the show that brings you one step closer to the sport of disc golf.
And we're back here at Tyler Park's 2007 doubles tournament. We're on hole 22, and as you see him standing around discussing the hole, I'm just want to let you know there's going to be another change to the format. We're now going to an alternate throw format, where one teammate will throw the drive, the next teammate will throw the approach shot, and they'll keep switching back and forth until the disc ends up in the basket. So now you got to figure out who's a better driver, who's a better putter. You got to take that into account when you start to make your decisions here.
Well, it all starts with that, but once that decision's been made, you basically alternate on every throw. Even if you make the putt, then your teammate's going to make the next drive. So, and
This is
Nathan went to the forehand on that throw with that little dog leg to the right. Looks like you got
fairly narrow fairway on this, and it's up a big hill. Right there in the beginning is that hill, and then it's pretty much fairly clear out here.
It's clear, but you know this tee shot from this hole 22 is all about position, Todd. You're not going to pin the basket. You really just want to get into a safe spot where you can make a good approach shot.
And Joey did that for Tony, because now he's got a nice clean shot at that elevated basket there. He's just going to try to get up to it.
That's it.
Just a little past it. Should be close enough for Joey to sink that putt. And you can see here in Tyler, even the park is growing. They have all these new trees planted here. You got to be careful with your discs. You don't want to hit them. You see how they're all protected with their little sleeves, plastic sleeves.
You just missed this one.
Now that forehand put them right behind this big oak tree. And we'll see what kind of a look, what kind of stance Steve is going to take on this one.
He's really figuring
looking
this out.
He's looking to his partner for help on this one. He's like, you threw it. Tell me what I'm supposed to do next. He's got a clear path to the basket, it looks like.
He goes high, tries to run it, but
Nice run.
just misses the putt.
You could see what he did there. He took an up and down approach to it rather than throwing straight at it, because if it didn't go in, then basically it was just going to drop down right in the vicinity of the basket, leaving an easy putt for his partner to make.
And Joey sinks that pretty easy putt there.
That's pretty cool. They took that tree stump and put a sleeve right in there. So everybody comes away clean with their threes on this hole.
That's one thing I'd like to say about Tyler. They certainly have some interesting pin positions.
Oh, yeah.
Stumps of trees, between two trees, at the edge of a cliff. There's all kinds of crazy stuff going on.
Here's Super Bros still with that one stroke lead, one throw lead over the Bird Beaters. Moving on now to hole 23.
And hole 23 is a par 4, 417 feet. It looks good, fairly straightforward on the map there, but it's all uphill.
Uphill.
And a fairly narrow fairway.
Looks a little snaky, too.
Yeah, the fairway does have a nice
Starts
little
in-
S-curve in it.
There you go.
That's a decent shot for him. See what Tony can do here.
That's one of the things about alternate throw is that it moves a lot quicker now because each team's only really taking one throw, and one disc. They're working really from just one disc here. So
That was a much better tee shot. He's right in the. He is behind a big tree there, but he is right in the middle of the fairway. And that's difficult to do. There's so many trees that line this fairway.
he's looking right up the gut. Boy, you could really get a feel for how uphill this shot really is.
Yep.
Now there's an example of using understable plastic, and you can see how that thing really turned beautifully for Joey, and what a great shot that was from him.
Should make it pretty easy for Tony to sink that putt. The wind looks like it's starting to pick up here. There's a nice
What a
stable
nice
disc.
play.
About the same distance as Joe's shot. Should be a pretty easy finish here.
Yeah, well, this is the thing now with alternate shot. Now it really puts all the emphasis on that putt. Now, no problem for Steve. And here comes Tony. I'm sure he'll be able to clean this up. There it is.
Nice job.
So they both took their threes there, and Super Bros still with that one throw lead over Bird Beaters, and we're starting to run out of holes here, Todd.
Now we're on to hole 24, and this is actually what they would call a safari hole. Why don't you explain what that exactly means?
A safari hole, quite simply, is two holes joined together to make one hole. And what a nice scene there with the Red Fox going around the course, checking out some disc golf action at Tyler State Park.
So now it's a par 4, it's 650 feet, and you're basically playing through all of 24 as he blows past the basket. What an incredible drive, and you can see the tee pad of 25 and people playing right about the basket at 25, and that's where they're headed.
This is a great look here. They're really throwing out of a chute, really downhill out of this tree line, and it's just a really beautiful scenic hole. From this tee, you're looking out into a big, beautiful open field here on this great fall day.
So it looks like he's going to throw a roller here, and he does.
He wants
Throws it
to.
out a little to the right, and it never quite stands up. Look at this, it's still turning right.
This could be trouble.
He's heading to out of bounds. Let's hope it slows down.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
It's soft ground, slowed it up just enough to keep it in bounds.
They still got a long way here. Now, Tony still has quite a distance to go, but he's got a lot of room to work with. There's only a few trees here.
Let's see if the wind, now he got it up in the air a little bit, and that wind seems to be knocking it down.
Pushes it way left, but he's still got a decent look at the basket there. Now, basically, Steve is playing hole 25 with an extra 15, 20 feet.
There
He's
you
playing
go.
right over the top of the tee pad here.
Now they're throwing downhill, so the key here